Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back to Walker Air Transport's NASCAR 2022 tour. So I'm flying these along with the actual calendar in 2024, which would mean that most flights are going to be shown on Saturdays because the races are on Sundays, so we're getting our VIPs to the proper location the day before, so they've got a little time to enjoy the area, and not be rushing, and obviously in case there's some kind of delay or something that we don't have a problem. So we're here in Daytona. We're going to be taking off from the Daytona airport next to the Daytona track that we were just at, and in 2022 the next race was back up again in Darlington, which we had already visited in May. So, we're back kind of going through some similar locations. But just getting the plane finalized here. We've got flight plan loaded. We've got everything set here. Flaps are down. At this point, we just need to call for clearance. We don't really need any pushback, and we're going to get moving along here. Daytona clearance. Request IFR to Florence, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Daytona clearance. Cleared to Florence Airport. Royce 7 departure. Then is filed. Maintain 4,000. Departure frequency 118.85. Squawk 561
Cleared to Florence Airport. Royce 7 departure. Then is filed.
I keep forgetting I always have the auto on because usually I end the flight that way.
Walker 4021.
Okay, so we need 5613.
Walker 4021, reback correct. Contact ground 121.9er when ready for pushback or engine start.
Alright.
Ground 121.9er when ready for pushback or engine start. Walker 4021.
Request push and start, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Daytona ground, pushback approved. Face west.
Okay, one thing I keep forgetting, I need a little bit more fuel, so let me get that done before I start my tracking software. So I need about 3,200 pounds. That should be enough.
Ground, pushback approved. Face west.
Face west, Walker 4021. But yes, I also don't have the tracking software running yet either. So I jumped in the plane and getting ready to get going. Alright, everything's starting up successfully. Engine should be spun up. Should be able to get that running. Alright, so we're going to be cruising at 15,000 feet. Gotta get my altimeter set. That's 3006. So basically raising the altimeter changes the pressure, it kind of raises the elevation. Going down obviously does the opposite. Probably can stay at that range on our secondary display, but so yeah, Darlington's in North Carolina, I believe. Actually might be in South Carolina, but it's not that far. It's about 300 nautical miles. So there is a milestone I'm shooting for in Walker Air Transport, is once I get 300 flight hours, I go up in pilot rank, which just means I'll get paid more and accumulate some more funds. But I really am not using the funds for much of anything. It's just, a tracking mechanism and so forth. So we have this set. I think we're good. Request taxi to runway, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, runway 25 right,
I guess
taxi
I
via
should
Bravo.
start my other
Hold
engine.
short runway 25 left.
Runway 25 right via Bravo. Hold short runway 25 left. Walker 4021. Alright, we get our guards closed up. Now we should be all set. So let's take a peek here. Wow, this is a weird map in Beyond ATC, I'll tell you that. Alright, so it's kind of sending us out and then up Bravo. But yeah. So normally I don't share much of this, but I'm going to go ahead and let you experience this joy with me. Because yeah, it's a thing. So one of the things Beyond ATC is introduced is a taxi map. These are how these ramps are connected to each other according to Beyond ATC and the data it's getting from the flight sim. So if we look out that way, as it's still throwing some planes down, yeah, they're kind of parked everywhere, but it's a GA parking pad. It's not this weirdly interconnected lattice work that this is showing. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it, but it's quite interesting. So that is what we have, but at this point we are good to go. So I am going to release my parking brake. That is off, and we're going to get moving along here. Let's see. There we go. So I should go down to that point, I think. And then up, and basically we're doing a 180-degree turn. Let's see, I might be going a bit quick here. So we're basically going to get in here, and then this will be Bravo. And I'm going to take that up. So in front of us, that's the runway we will be going down. So we're basically taxiing up this way. You know, that's the GA location in the airport, obviously. So we're all down here. We did fly in here in a 737 last time, I get that. Waiting to cross runway 25 left, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, cross runway 25 left at Bravo. Continue taxi via Bravo, Echo.
Cross runway 25 left at Bravo, continue taxi via Bravo, Walker 4021. I don't have it up. I'm probably going to get yelled at for
Negative.
being wrong.
Continue taxi via Bravo, Echo.
Continue taxi via Bravo, Echo, Walker 4021. Alright. Because I'm sure we need to go to Bravo along, and then Echo's just going to maybe get us over to the runway. We're passing, we just crossed Charlie. We're now going to be crossing Alpha. So, looks like maybe a maintenance area or something. But there are some ramps here, but I don't see... Doesn't look like any planes are here right now. So I'm still waiting for Beyond ATC to inject traffic. Now I am, in all transparency, now this looks like another runway, but, oh, I see, okay. Interesting. Well, it's not asking me to cross it, but this seems like this would be the runway. So we'll keep going, but I don't quite understand. But I'm following the track because I think this is 25 right, but it might be taking me up and then over, and then connecting another way. I'm not sure, so I'll follow it along. So basically I'm assuming I'm going up and then turning right, and then that's going to be echo, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure this is my runway, but it's interesting that they're having me cross. Yeah, but that's exactly what I thought. So I'm turning here. So this is echo. And then we're going to take echo down for a bit until we get to the start of the runway. There's an echo on the other side too, so in theory I guess I could have done that and not crossed the runway.
Contact Daytona Tower 120.7.
Contact Tower 120.7, Walker 4021. Daytona Tower, request departure, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Daytona Tower, wind 235 at 8, RNAV to Barbs, runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 25 right, cleared for takeoff, Fort Walker 4021. Alright, so we are going to get rolling. So I get lined up, but we will up our throttle here. And engines will spin up, and we will be on our way. So, going back to obtaining the new rank, I need 0.92 hours. I don't know that I'm going to get that in this flight. I think it's going to be just shy of that. So we'll put our gear up. We're going to fly out this way, straight with the runway heading for a while. Surprised it like doesn't know that I'm up. Usually by now we would have definitely heard about it. So let's see, we're gonna do some V speed.
Walker
Put you on
4021,
damper.
contact Daytona departure.
Contact Daytona departure 118.85, Walker 4021. Look, I'm losing my plane, so I don't want to be doing that. Why is it turning that way? I do have autopilot on. That is odd. I did not think that's where I was at. But anyway, let me decrease this because I do not need, whoops, I do not need to be climbing at that rate. So I can slow my engines down here. Alright, yeah, because I would expect to turn in that direction. You can see where my track is. But maybe the way I took off, I was a little to the right. Daytona departure, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Daytona departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 1010,000.
Climb and maintain 1010,000, Walker 4021. Alright, so right now it's telling me an hour and a half, but we're also, again, not going anywhere near the speed we need to be going. Some of this is, we're climbing so gosh darn fast. 2,500 or so is probably going to be plenty. Let me
Walker
put my
4021,
flaps in.
contact Jacksonville Center 134.0.
134.0, Walker 4021. So, yeah, I was talking about Beyond ATC not having traffic, but that I'm recording these kind of ahead because I am kind of on a drive to like get that new rank, just because, you know, it's a my next goal in flight sim with Walker Air Transport, so that is cool. So I have tried to keep up, you know, with the other VAs I'm in. I was debating sharing another series, but we'll see. I might do flights here and there with something else, because I'm trying with my commercial ones where I really have repeating routes and so forth. I'm trying to see if I can find like airport scenery and things, and maybe that would make it a little bit more interesting. Try to run that more as, you know, full-fledged commercial flights, you know, where I'm really adhering and using self-loading cargo and trying to do my best to play the role of captain. You know, we'll see how all that will play out. Shoot. Well, I'm above 10,000. Oh, but I'm above, I see. I'm speeding above 300. That is just an airframe thing, so we will fix that. And I suppose one way to fix that is I can increase my vertical speed. That will also slow me down, but then still allow me to keep moving. So that's probably a better call, honestly, because then at least we climb to our altitude faster, and then we can just keep going. Oh, I didn't announce myself. Jacksonville Center, flight level 130, Walker 4021. It's not really a flight level, but...
Walker 4021, Jacksonville Center, climb and maintain 15,000.
So,
Altimeter tree 006.
very short swooping curve. Climb and maintain 15,000. Altimeter 30.06, Walker 4021. So, we're getting close. Still saying 52 minutes, so it's possible we'll get there, because basically if it takes an hour, you know, because again, we're almost at cruising altitude now, so this should be about accurate. Climbing much higher than this in a Cessna, once you start getting around 20,000, it just seems to have a hard time getting higher than that. Obviously, if I need to, that's fine, but you know, we're not really covering any ground here in this trip that's going to be that challenging to fly through, or obviously we're not passing any 15,000 foot peaks or anything like that. You know, we don't even have any of those in the Continental 48. There's some, I think, 14,000 feet. So we'd have to fly higher than we were. And yes, now that I'm leveling out, I do need to slow down, so I'm just not doing a good job of paying attention to my instruments. Alright, so we've got 10 miles to Roy's, and then pretty good distance then to CRG. So CRG is going to be Jacksonville, so you can see we've still got, you know, just under 60 miles before we're out of well, getting close to being out of Florida. But then, you know, our airport, 338 is what it's telling me. I don't know why my tracker is saying 300. So maybe this will be enough, because otherwise my next one is long. It's going to be a pretty long flight, and I'm not sure I want to tackle that today. But I would if I didn't get it, because I'm on this mission. Like, I want to see my rank change, because I think I get a colored stripe. Like right now I've got my 4 stripes, but I think that gets me my first colored one. So it just seems important. I don't know why. Don't judge me. But with that, I think, you know, we're leveled off. We're now cruising for a while. As we start to get into the descent, as always, I'll bring you back so that you can enjoy the descent down, and we will then land and most importantly see if we've made it with our goal, other than obviously doing that. And again, this is leg 28 out of 37, so we are getting down to the tail end here, but it's going to take us, as I've said, kind of right up to Election Day in the U.S. here is right about when the season ends. And so we have got a few months of flying, well, like 3 months of flying in front of us, right? No? Well, now this is actually, I'm doing this in kind of early mid-August, but as I said, I'm flying ahead, so this I think is actually a September event. So if let me look at the calendar, because yes, September 4th, Sunday, September 4th, 2022 is when it was, and this would coincide with, I think, September 8th in 2024. So 2024, NASCAR is going to be heading to Atlanta. We actually will not be going to Atlanta at all during the playoffs here, because this is the first week of the playoffs. So and we'll be doing the schedule that they had back then, but I will step away for a bit, and I'll see you in a while. Alright, starting to descend. We're down about 1,000 feet from our cruising altitude at this point. We're still actually controlled by Jacksonville Center, which is interesting, and they've given us our, our runway, all that, so. So it is giving us runway 01, which is what I was expecting to be coming in on. So that is obviously a good thing. But we're getting pretty close to jumping onto the RNAV approach. But let me drop my speed again, because we're got to be below 250. So I do want to fall down. Let me see. Maybe I go ahead and put my brakes on. Get myself slowing down there. All right, we got that. Should be okay at this point. Fuel boost on right. I don't even understand. Did I flip a switch? Whoops. Let's not turn off. I was trying to turn and look, and I forget. Wrong stick. And then I break out of autopilot, and it just is a mess. But, yeah, should be a pretty uneventful approach, I hope. That is the goal. I don't know, time-wise, where I really sit. Well, I guess I still am over-speeding, which is a bit amazing. So they do have me down to 2,000. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself down there. Alright, I am going to pick my nose up a little bit. That should hopefully slow me down, because we don't have as much deceleration. And I probably can go substantially slower, because really I am still 70 miles away and we're down to 6,000, so don't want to obviously get too far and then just be flying at 3,000 feet or something. So I might actually slow myself to 500. Let's just do that, and as we get closer, then we'll worry about the situation, because I think basically I need to get to Nuttall, which is 50 miles away, and I think that's when I should be at 2,000. So we definitely came down pretty fast. I'm gonna speed things up a bit, because again, I don't necessarily want to take forever. I mean, I guess it's one, you know, I'm on one hand and the other, because obviously the longer I take, then I'll get my flight hours, right? But no, I mean, I don't want to artificially take longer than I need to. At this point, it should be, I would think, 15 minutes or less. It's telling me 11, and that in theory would be at this location. But the thing that's confusing is, again, it's telling me that I've got 46 nautical miles, but you can see I've got 53 just to get to the approach. So we really have 64. It's like we're off by 20 miles. So hoping I'm going to the right airport. I mean, looks like I am, but it's just odd. I mean, it's Kilo, Foxtrot, Lima, Oscar in both cases, in Navigraph and here.
Walker 4021, contact Florence, approach 118.6. Have a good flight.
Contact Florence approach, Walker 4021. Florence, Walker 4021, good day, 4600 with information Alpha.
Walker 4021 Florence approach. Altimeter tree 000. Expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 01.
Alright, so that lowers me a bit.
3000. Expect radar vectors for RNAV runway 01. Walker 4021.
Alright, we're coming up on Nopper.
Walker 4021. Tree 5 miles from Neutal. Fly present heading. Maintain 2000 until established on the final approach course. Cleared RNAV runway 01.
Fly present heading, 2000 until established. Cleared RNAV runway 01. Walker 4021.
Alright. So, that's kind of the point we're at. Passing through this. Yeah, looks like we're just staying on the present heading, which is fine. You know, we're at 4,000. Probably want to go down. So I'm gonna go to 1,000. We'll double our descent rate. We'll see what that starts to look like. But I would think over basically 25 miles, that's going to get me pretty close. I'm going to go ahead and get my landing monitor up, because that definitely helps do things appropriately. And, you know, coming in. So definitely with the Orbix trees, you know, things a lot greener. So the high definition trees, you get some variation. I don't know. I'd say it looks a little bit better, but getting within 1,000 feet of where we want to be here. And yes, there is an airport straight ahead off to my right. So if you're like, hey, outside those trees, there is something there. We're going to be passing right near a second one as well. So, all right. So then we're going to hit 2,500. It's going to start displaying things on my PFD. So it should be a little bit more obvious, but we're trying to get, again, established at 200. We're going to have to turn a little bit. So we're basically, again, at 0-1. So we're going to obviously go from 3.7, 3.8 to something a little closer to straight up near 360 or just about there. But we are getting here, and it should level out. There we go. So it's capturing the altitude. Basically, once we turn in, because we're still 28 nautical miles, even though Well, now it says that, which is interesting. So VNav, no, the flight tracker. I don't know what I was thinking about VNav, but in any event, the flight tracker says we're there. So it's interesting that I'm at 2,000, but height above ground level is 1,800. I suppose that means just that the ground level is 200 feet above sea level, I guess, or 150 is what that means. So, but we've still got, what, 15 to Nuttall? But once I get onto Nuttall, I think that's still going to give me about 10 miles. So let's see. So again, there should be an airport. Yeah, I think it's over there. Or no, that's just roadway. The other airport, I think we just passed a little while ago. I don't know. We saw it out the window. But yeah, we've got another one we're coming up on. But once we start to get established and make the turn is when I'll finally lower my flaps and my gear. So right now, just to kind of keep plowing along, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And now it's, you know, telling me 5 minutes. We're down to about 22 nautical miles. So getting close. We're coming up, like now we should have an airport coming up somewhere there. And again, it could be a grass strip, it could be anything, I don't know. We're not quite there yet, but it's basically should be somewhere here. And we'll pass that a little ways, still quite a ways, before we make the turn. Maybe that might be a runway. We'll see what that looks like, because that's about right. No, if it is a runway, it's not a great one. So I'm not sure, but it's always tricky when you're trying to pick out airports. But no, I think those are just roadways. But really, like, it should be here. And I would think with that town and whatever, like, that would make sense, but I don't know. I'm not seeing it, so if you saw it, you can let us know in the comments or whatever, but I am not seeing it. And then basically, it looks like I have to report established is something it's waiting for me to do. And then at that point, I'm sure it's going to give us some additional information. But we are now, what, less than 5 nautical miles, but yeah, 15, 16 from the airport. So yeah, it'll really be pretty much 10 before we get to the point where we've got the waypoint and we're going to turn. But we've got, you know, racetracks out here. I just can't speak in normal terms. Alright, I thought it was 2 nautical miles, 2.5. But the turn should start. I'm going to think that's the airport, so I think that's where we're heading. So we'll be turning in no time here, because now we are below a mile. Gonna drop the gear as we get ready. So there we go, it's starting to blink. Why? Whoop. No. I cleared that. What are you doing? Oh boy. So now I gotta play this game. So hold on. Legs. I want to go to pails. Execute. Alright, is my...
Walker 4021. Contact Florence Tower 125.1.
What is it doing?
Over to Tower 125.1. Walker 4021.
What is... Whoa, what is this thing doing? Like, it is so screwed up here.
Florence Tower, Walker 4021. RNAV runway 01.
Walker 4021, Florence Tower, continue.
Alright.
Wilco, Walker 4021.
So, I'm gonna head away there, and then we're gonna try to turn, because yeah, that was a ridiculously sharp turn. Like, that was gonna drop me out of the sky. So I do need some flaps. So we're gonna get that set, and then again, we're gonna do a pails, and then paste it, execute, and then autopilot. Let's see if that gets us where we need to be. So, yeah, a little bit more exciting than I thought it was going to be. It is flattening me out, so that's good. But yeah, I think we're there, so we'll see how it starts to guide us in. We're about 11 miles out, so everything is still a-okay in that regard. We're a little higher on the glide path. It just refuses to line me up here. Like, why is it going that far over? Alright, I don't know what it's doing, but yeah, it is just not lining me up, so I may just need to fly this in by hand. So yeah, I think we're gonna turn this off, because I am just fighting this thing, and it doesn't make any sense. So we are now, what, 7 nautical miles out? At this point, we're going to extend the flaps. I'm going to add a little bit more thrust. So I don't know. Now, in theory, it's situated. So let's see. If I do this, let's see what it does. Let's see if it gets any better. I mean, it's getting me there.
180 at 5. Runway 1 cleared to
That
land.
was a weird little stutter.
Runway 1 cleared to land.
Alright,
Walker
I really
4021.
would prefer to stop this wing waggle, but it should be okay. I mean, at least the glide path makes sense. We're seeing an angle of 3 degrees, which is what we want to see. We're below 1500 now. And, you know, we're cleared to land on runway 1. So we've gotten what we want to hear. Yeah. No arming of the brakes or anything. We'll get the landing lights on. Again, the Cessna's a little bit easier as far as configuring for landing. But we're on, I mean, it's saying it's 5 degrees pitch in smart cars in the tracker. We're now under 3 miles out. So yeah, without flying the same approaches, like I've seen videos that show the Orbix global trees and then without. I mean, I think it definitely looks vibrant, and you know, the trees look more three-dimensional. I don't know how else to describe it. So once again, folks can certainly weigh in on what they think. You know, does it look good or not? I did watch a 2024 video, and someone was talking about how, you know, the Flight Simulator 2020 graphics are quite good, so if they can get any kind of improvement in 2024, that would be pretty impressive. I may end up coughing here. I don't want to cut my mic because we're pretty close, so. Alright, we're going to get ourselves in. We're going to start to slow down. Whoa. That was harder than I would have liked. Oh, interesting. Said I touched down at 91 feet per minute, which that would be excellent if I did.
Walker 4021. Exit left next
It's just,
available taxiway.
obviously it looks like...
Exit left next available taxiway. Walker 4021.
I didn't realize I had gone past it that far. Wasn't clearly painted. So I assume I'm going to go this way. Okay, so we're going to request taxi to the assigned gate.
Walker 4021. Request taxi to company gate.
Walker 4021. Ramp 12 taxi via Alpha.
Alright.
Ramp 12 taxi via Alpha. Walker 4021.
So, relatively small, but... I mean, that's why we took the Cessna, because we knew we were coming into a pretty tight airport, and we weren't going to have all kinds of options for a 737, that's for sure. Alright, so well, in theory, I should be going over here and then kind of coming up to him around the pushback vehicle. So we'll see. What am I set at? I should have enough thrust. Yeah, we're moving. We'll speed it up a little bit. This has taken too long. Not quite sure why he's telling me to stop already, but okay. Alright. Get our brake on. It's on. We'll get our throttles fully off, and we will get everything turned off. But once again, another flight in the NASCAR series, so we're making good timing. Let's see, turn everything off. But this is what they'll call ramp 12. We are deboarding according to smart cars, and there we go. PIREP is filed. Well, it said it took 1 hour and 22 minutes, so I should be in good shape. We'll see if I have... I have a little red stripe. I'm so excited. So now I have 200, basically 200 hours. I have 199.69 hours left, but I also have to achieve some points, so I have 1,810 points. I need to get up to 6,000 points. Basically, you earn points for length of flight, quality of landing, all that stuff. So as an example, if I look at this flight here, I earned 19 points. So basically I get 5 for completing the flight, 1 for 1 hour of flight time. So every hour of flight time gets us a little bit. 6 for the distance, for 348 nautical miles. I got a 2 for the negative 91 feet per minute landing rate. 1 that my flaps were set for landing. A negative 2 because I exceeded maximum speed a few times. And then a 6 bonus multiplier, which basically kind of tries to... So, as it says, these bonus points equalize flights in all fleet aircraft, regardless of distance flown and or cruising speed. So that basically it's like, well, you know, I took time. Like if you fly really fast, then I assume you'll get things taken off so that the points are reasonable. But next flight, like I said, we're heading off to Kansas, so we're going to be heading out from here into the Heartland, and that will obviously take us a little ways, because it's, I think, almost 800 nautical miles. So no significantly short flights. I'm just going to look here real quick. We have a 286 nautical mile flight for leg 33. And that is our shorty. Other than that, I think everything's over 500, and some, as I said, the last 3 out of 4 are over 1500. So we're doing a lot of jumping around, because basically we're going from Concord, North Carolina, is where I think Concord Paget Regional is. Then we're jumping over to Vegas. Then we go from Vegas back to Miami. We go from Miami to a little shorter flight. That's 620. Then we're going to Piedmont Triads. So again, I think we're heading up towards Charlotte or something. And then we make that final jump over to Phoenix to end the season. But that is where I'm at. And so what I was hoping is that I didn't need to do this flight from Florence to Kansas City, and it's the Kansas City International Airport, so I should be able to take that in a 737. Yeah, those are full 9,000, 10,000 foot runways. It's going to be a little bit of fun getting off the ground here, but I think that may be what I'll utilize, just because I enjoy flying the 737. So we'll take a look at that, but right now I am, what is my official rank? I'm a flight captain, so that is the rank I have now, and then I think it becomes like senior flight captain and stuff like that. So yeah, senior flight captain is next, and then we've got chief pilot 1, and then chief pilot 2, and I don't know what happens if there's a rank after that, or if that's the big one. It may be, but we were a captain, and now we're a flight captain, and then we'll be a senior flight captain. So whatever it is, it sounds impressive. So, but I am getting up there, and yeah, 300 hours with one VA in a sim hobby genre that I wasn't even thinking about at this time last year. So pretty cool how things can change for us. So hope you've enjoyed this. If you have and haven't dropped a like, please consider that. If you are not a subscriber yet, please consider that. And I will see you next time.